You're watching The American on ESPN. Welcome to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where it's senior day for the Hurricane, winners of 2 straight. Meanwhile, UAB putting the pieces back together and looking for their first road win in over 2 years. And welcome inside H.A. Chapman Stadium with former Penn State Nittany Lion Reginald Walker Jr. I'm James Westling. Smacker Miles, the third member of our team. For UAB, they are going through a lot. There was a stabbing incident exactly 1 week ago today involving 3 members of their football program. They went on to play the game, but here they are a week later, and their roster looks very different.
Yeah, you're talking about a roster that is missing almost 36 players. That really changes what you want to do with a football team. Defensively, we're talking about more than 20 guys just on that side of the ball alone. Be a very, very different looking football team, but I guarantee you they will play hard. That's what Alex Mortensen, the interim head coach, has instilled in this group.
Well, offensively, they've got a centerpiece in running back Javon Jackson, almost 800 yards on the season.
Jackson is one of those guys that can give you anything you need. Short yardage situations, he can get it for you. He's got the speed to take it the distance, great vision, excellent patience, uses his run blocking very, very well, and he takes the pressure off of Jalen Kitna in this passing game. And then you look at it on the other side of things, and you talk about it from Tulsa's standpoint. Dominic Richardson, he's one of the top guys in the country, top 20 in both total rushing attempts and rushing yards, doing an excellent job getting those tough yards inside, getting outside. You see the speed right here to break it big and make big plays for this offense. One thing that's kind of surprising is all this running in an offense led by Trey Lamb. That's the evolution of Trey as a head coach.
And for more on the Tulsa sidelines, we throw it downstairs to Smacker Miles. Hey, Smacker.
Hey, guys. And Reggie, you may be surprised because Coach Lamb told me that the Tulsa offense needs to run the ball for 200 yards. He said they'll use tempo early and often to test the Blazers' depth today. You mentioned the roster movement, and they are looking to test them. They need to get 40 to 50 from quarterback Baylor Hayes, and they'd like to get another 150 from their running backs. Beyond that, he said UAB has been turnover prone, and Tulsa hasn't gotten a lot, but he said that would be huge.
Golden Hurricane have won back-to-back. They beat Oregon State here at home 2 weeks ago, 31-14. And then a come-from-behind victory last Saturday at Army. They were down 25-14 with less than 4.5 minutes to play in the game. Rallied for the 1-point win. They won the toss. They have elected to receive, and we are underway here on Senior Day in Tulsa. After the touchback, we'll see the Tulsa offense first. Baylor Hayes, the redshirt freshman quarterback, transfer from East Tennessee State, came over with Coach Lamb. He's been fantastic. Has the most 200-yard games in Tulsa freshman passing history with 6 this season.
He's a kid that really can do anything in this offense, very twitchy in terms of his athleticism. Be very interested to see how quickly they get him involved in the running game.
On first down, A.J. Allen gets the nod at tailback, and he's tripped up from behind after a gain of just a yard by Jamichael Rogers, the defensive end.
Jamichael Rogers, one of the guys that is a constant in this group up front that's actually available in this game today. He's got to be really big, especially in some of the runs that go away from him. He's got to make plays chasing those things down from behind.
On second down, Hayes wants to put it up. This is where he's at his best. Tightroping the boundary out to the 42-yard line, a 16-yard scramble by the quarterback.
This is a great job by Baylor Hayes, recognizing as the pocket's breaking down, he gets pressure up the middle, slides out to his left, keeps his eyes down the field, and then tuck it right here. The only thing I tell the young man, put it in that left arm, get it to the outside.
Tulsa sees him as their long-term QB1 after the year that he's had. A.J. Allen stretch play, and he picks up a chunk of 7 or 8. And Tulsa's approaching midfield on their opening drive of this first quarter.
Yeah, this is what they want to do. They want to get this offensive line, get them lathered up and going against a depleted defensive front of UAB, missing a ton of guys that are normal rotation guys up front. Ezra Odenjor, number 2, is going to have to make plays for them in this game as well off the edge.
On second down and 3, play action. Hayes. Open receiver, it's Steptoe. And he steps out of bounds around the 35. They'll mark him out at the 33. Another chunk play. That's good for 17.
Yeah, it's just a nice job on the rollout. He's able to make that throw going left as a right-handed quarterback. Steptoe out there near the boundary. Nobody near him. Somebody in that secondary completely lost him, and he gets an easy catch.
Sets up 1st and 10 at the UAB 33. Allen looking for a lane, sheds one tackle. Allen's inside the 30, and he's the change of pace back, this two-headed monster between A.J. Allen and Dominic Richardson for the Tulsa ground game.
He's the change of pace back, but he'll punish you as well. That's the scary part about it. Both of these guys, very physical, getting north and south.
Picks up 4 at 2nd down. Hayes on the zone read, he keeps it, and he slides down a veteran play to avoid a big hit. Started his slide at the 25, so it sets up 3rd and short.
That's a really nice read by Baylor Hayes. There was nothing if he gives that ball to the right. See, A.J. Allen's got Odenjor right in his hip pocket, so what does he do? He just pulls it, comes out the other side, picks up positive yards, and sets his team up for a very manageable 3rd and 2 here.
This will be the 7th play of this drive, already 50 yards for Tulsa. Their opening possession. Stutter step, Allen pushing the pile. It will be close.
I think Trey Lamb will go for this regardless of the situation. Looks like he might be a little bit short. He's going to go anyway.
There's the numbers for A.J. Allen, and this is a no-brainer for Coach Lamb, yeah?
Not for 2 reasons. Number 1, he wants the momentum. He wants to be physical. They want to run the football, and they want to get a touchdown. Number 2, with the way the wind's blowing, you don't want to test these kickers right now.
And Tulsa calls a timeout. They had brought in Stephen Kittleman, their backup quarterback. And we'll take it with them. No score, 4th and inches when we come back. Tulsa trying to keep this drive alive. The Tulsa volleyball team being honored during the break. 25-6 on the season. Just won the American Conference Tournament. They're headed to the dance. The Golden Hurricane volleyball team. It's chilly down there, Reggie. 45 degrees is the feels-like temperature. But that wind currently howling between 15 and 25 miles an hour. It's a northwest breeze. And Tulsa on 4th and inches with the quarterback sneak with Kittleman. He needs an extra push. And UAB has stonewalled Tulsa's opening drive.
Yeah, Eddie Tusum, number 5, the linebacker, does an excellent job. Now, part of this is on Kittleman. I didn't think he did a great job following his blocks. He kind of hesitated after the snap there, didn't get any momentum going, and then an excellent job by this UAB defensive front, doing an excellent job there, getting enough of a push up the middle, getting the leverage, playing underneath, and they get the stop. Excellent job by a group that's very much undermanned in this football game.
Sideline.
So we'll see the UAB offense, and Jalen Kitna, almost 2,300 yards on the season, had a huge day against this Tulsa team a season ago, completing almost 70% of his passes this year. He's the son of the longtime NFL quarterback veteran John Kitna.
A little razzle-dazzle there from Alex Mortensen, giving Trey Lamb a little bit of his own medicine there, huh?
Going to the air, pop pass, and out to the 40. It's a first down.
This is where Jalen Kitna can be really, really good and dominant as a passer. RPO game, watch him read it here, pulls it, and the quick release. That's when his release is the best, when he's able to come out of the RPO and rip the football over the middle like that.
And Coach Mortensen, Alex Mortensen, the interim head coach, noting that he was leading the American in passing prior to an injury that set him back for a couple of weeks as they handed off first carry of the game for Javon Jackson, and he picks up a chunk of 5.
Well, let's not get it twisted. This is the 23rd rated passing offense in the country. They can actually spin the ball and make plays down the field as well. Good receiving core. It's just been a matter of, can they avoid the catastrophic mistakes throughout the season?
Handoff, Jackson, shimmy shake to pick up a yard. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the Blazers.
Yeah, it's a nice play by number 88, Nakai Johnson, able to get up the field, play in the backfield a little bit. He does a nice job from that defensive line spot, blowing the play up. And that's what they're going to have to do. If you get penetration, it slows down these backs, obviously, number 1. But number 2, where Kitna has the most trouble is when the pressure's directly in his face as opposed to out on the edges.
UAB is top 5 in the American on 3rd downs, hitting at a clip of 46%. This is 3rd and 4, delayed blitz. Kitna, nobody's open. And he throws it away. It's 4th down and 4. Does UAB even consider going for it here? Last game of the season, you're close to midfield, it's 4th and 4.
I think there's a slight consideration, but the last thing you want to do, because of some of the depth issues that you have, you don't want to get behind, start playing from behind. You want to give yourself an opportunity to play field position, shrink the game a little bit as well, and keep it in your favor from that standpoint. I think if they were in plus territory there, though, James, they would go.
And over into punt. It's inside the 5 into the end zone for the touchback. A 53-yard boot from Patrick Foley as we head to a timeout. Early stages, no score, senior day for Tulsa. This will be the second offensive possession for Tulsa. Reggie, take us through your keys to the game for the Hurricanes.
Well, you got to dominate with Dom. Dominic Richardson has got to be the guy, the bell cow that carries you over the top in this football game. Obviously not in the game right now, but he's got to be the guy, the bell cow back. Kitna cannot be clean. You have to put him on the ground, get some hits on him, make him uncomfortable. And then lastly, a special delivery. You need something from your special teams to create an extra possession or something to that effect. So that's going to be key in this game.
Hayes swiveling away from trouble, and he wings it out of bounds to avoid the sack. It's 2nd down and 10.
He was looking for, well, I should say he was really throwing the football away. Landon Lucas was the closest one to him, but the tight end in there, number 23, without Brody Foley, number 80, the normal tight end, not in the game today.
He did not dress. Foley, second in all of college football with 7 receiving touchdowns. That's second among all tight ends. He is an elite player, and he is out for this one.
False start. Offense, number 15. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down. Please reset the game clock to 9:22. 9:22.
First penalty of the game. It's against the wide receiver, Josh Smith.
Yeah, here he's out there in the slot, and a little early start there.
Coming off a season high, 50 yards on 3 catches and a score last week against Army. And Hayes wanted fellow freshman Donnell G. Jr. It's incomplete. It's 3rd and 15 for Tulsa.
That's the right read. He had a one-on-one situation down the left side. Just really nice coverage on that play that time, and unable to get it completed. But I like Baylor Hayes' mindset there. Like where he went with the football, just wasn't able to get it in.
The top 3 receivers today for Tulsa. This is not the bunch that they thought it would be when they started the year. They're without their top 4 guys preseason. Incompletion from Hayes will bring up 4th down. That was intended for Landon Lucas, who will get a lot of snaps today at that tight end position, filling in for Brody Foley.
I thought, again, a pretty nice job offensive line-wise for Tulsa on that possession. A couple of plays, they were able to give time to Baylor Hayes to push the ball down the field.
It's 4th and 15. Tulsa from its own 15-yard line. Angus Davies, one of the top punters in the American, trying to avoid that win, so he kicks it low line drive, and it dies at the 44. UAB will start this drive in plus territory. Let's go back a season ago. What he did against Tulsa last year was set a program record, 6 touchdowns over 400 yards.
Yeah, Jalen Kitna was absolutely what they call spinning that thing last year, I should say, against Tulsa.
UAB won the game 59-21. There's his numbers, 404, 6 touchdowns, tied the school record, only had 7 incompletions. Now today he's dealing with a 20-mile-an-hour wind, but he sets up shop in plus territory. And Jackson jitterbugs inside the 40. Your keys to victory, Reggie, when UAB is on the football field.
Dynamic duo. Hooks and Hawkins, the wide receivers, number 0 and number 6, have to be big for them. On defense, they've got to make it hazy for Hayes. Change the picture from him pre-snap to post-snap, and then big play BB. Solomon BB has got to make plays for them. He's an explosive guy in the run or pass game or the return game.
Trying to get Caleb Brown involved on the jet sweep, the highly touted prospect out of high school who started his career at Ohio State and then Iowa, now UAB. It's 3rd and 3 after he's run out by Ty Cooper.
Yeah, Caleb Brown, one of those guys that you see him running around on the field and you see the speed, and then you walk up to him in person and you realize how big and physical he is. Very well put together at 200 pounds.
Third and 3 for the Blazers. Jackson runs into a wall and bounces free down to the 20-yard line. And that was Isaiah Jacobs, I should say. A gain of 16.
How about that for Isaiah Jacobs? The Tulsa native essentially making that play, bounces off and gets up the field trying to get in the end zone. comes back home and playing well.
Facing the hometown team. Grew up in Owasso. Beebe trying to pinball to the boundary. Tripped up by Ray Coney, the top tackler in the American.
Ray Coney is so good at recognizing what's happening in front of him. Not only does he do that well, but I think what he does even better, which is crazy, is sift through it all. Get through the wash and get to the football without getting blocked and letting somebody stay on him. He does a really, really nice job.
Averages almost 11 tackles per game, 7th in the country. To the end zone, Kitna delivers a dart. And UAB strikes first, an 18-yard connection from Kitna to Iverson Hooks.
We talked about it. Look at Kitna with that release off the RPO. Anytime they go to that RPO concept, he's able to rip that ball in there really well. Hooks does an excellent job getting to the inside. He beats Lento Smith Jr. there, and that's an easy touchdown on the slant route.
And the point after is through. A 5-play, 44-yard drive, a minute 51. Kitna was 2 for 2 on that series. UAB takes advantage of a short field. 5 plays, 44 yards, a minute 51 off the timer, an 18-yard touchdown grab by Iverson Hooks. And Smacker, he's having a breakout year for the Blazers.
No doubt, James. He's coming off a really big day last weekend against USF, and he said he and Kitna are really connecting well right now because of their timing. He said he trusts Kitna's ball and where it's going to be, when it's going to be. Beyond that, he said they have to be consistent to have a big day today. Clear-minded each and every play keeps you from having mental errors. He said he's going to go out there and hoop no matter what. I love the basketball analogy.
It's top 2 in the American, 12th in the country in receptions, averaging over 6 per game.
And against 2 of the better teams in the American Conference this year, Memphis and North Texas, 10-plus catches, so he shows up in big games.
Ensuing kick. Out to the 25, 26, 27-yard line. How does Tulsa respond on this drive?
I think you got to get Richardson going in that running game. I would look to maybe see if they can get him going to the left side behind the veterans in Jaquan Adams, number 72, 65, Sean Hill. That's likely the strength. That is the strength, in my opinion, of this offensive line. I believe the coaches think that as well. I expect him to get something going in the running game, potentially toward the left side of this formation.
Hayes has missed on his last 3 passes. He's 1 for 4. On the sweep, step toe, chopped down, shy of the 30.
That's the other thing about this offense, James. It doesn't matter. They will hand the football to almost anybody. Any of these receivers has a chance to get the ball in the running game in a jet sweep kind of situation.
They gave him a really good spot. After the 5-yard pickup, Allen has the first down, cut back run to the 43. So slippery, a gain of 11.
They're letting the big guys eat. Big number 65, Sean Hill, had somebody on skates. They did an excellent job cutting off that backside and allowing the run off to the right with A.J. Allen to get going up the field.
The running game has been rolling as of late. Picked up 283 yards 2 weeks ago against Oregon State. They check it down to the outside to Grayson Tempest, and the former walk-on scout team savant picks up 5.
It's so interesting watching this offense, how many things look the same. That looked like a situation where it was going to be something maybe off tackle, guard pulling, the left guard pulls out, but what does he do? He stops to be the essentially personal protector for the quarterback in Hayes.
Play fake to the outside. That was a dart. A first down pitch and catch. Freshman to freshman, Hayes to G.
This is elite play calling by Trey Lamb. He knows that Baylor Hayes is twitchy enough to make that throw right there, moving to his left as a right-handed quarterback. He's trusting in that. It's being effective so far in this game, so he continues to go back to it.
A 9-yard gain and a fresh set of downs for the Golden Hurricane. Four-man rush. Hayes popped, unloads it, and wide open is Emmers. Stepping out of bounds inside the 10.
Emmers was in a one-on-one situation out to the right, and he's just able to get free. Defender falls down. I think that was number 17 there who fell down for UAB. Roy Williams, the corner, lost his footing and lost Emmers in the process.
After the 37-yard pass play, a 1-yard gain on the ground back to A.J. Allen. 2nd and goal for Tulsa from the 7.
See what this defensive front can do again, backed up in their own end.
This is the 7th play of the drive, 66 yards, 2 minutes and change off the stadium clock. Deep in the play clock. Allen roped down. A loss of a yard. Chris Burge makes the tackle. The redshirt freshman got to him first.
Yeah, it's a great job by Burge, a guy that doesn't play a ton. He's a rotational guy, doesn't play a ton, but he does a nice job reading it, recognizes, makes a play off the edge. This defensive line group has grown throughout the season. It's a group that's a little bit depleted today. Got to give a ton of credit to defensive line coach Sam Mills III, former NFL coach for more than a decade. He does a great job with this group.
Hayes lofting. Lucas can't reel it in. 4th and goal from the 8-yard line after the incompletion, and here comes the kicking team.
How about Tusum on that play, number 5 defensively? Is that Eddie Tusum, or maybe that was Calvin Pitcher at the linebacker spot? But look at him keep playing through the hands of Lucas and forces that ball out. That's Pitcher, number 6. Plays through the hands, continues to fight through, and he's able to knock it away and not allow him to finish the catch. That's how you play through the play and continue to fight defensively in a pass coverage situation.
A 26-yard try coming up for Seth Morgan. Morgan drills it. Tulsa has their first points. UAB in the lead, 7-3. Our new score after a 9-play, 65-yard drive that stalls inside the 10.
And again, this defense, we saw it earlier in the game. They were able to get a stop and get off the field. And then again here, they're able to find a way to get off the field again down in the red zone. So a couple of times now, this defense has done its job and found a way to get off the field. It's a defense that struggled all season long. One of the, statistically amongst the bottom feeders, if you will, in the country. But they've played some ridiculously difficult competition, and this time they do a great job. And you see right there, number 80, Brody Foley, the tight end, not available for Tulsa today. Not having him is a factor as well.
With everything UAB has been through this season.
UAB number 3 is wearing number 98 on the kickoff.
Reggie, what have you seen today from their effort level so far?
I think the energy and effort's been there. I think the focus and concentration, sticking to assignments. I think you really look at this team, and to be honest, you go back outside of the defender falling down against Emmers, they've played really, really well on defense.
Mm-hmm. Coming off a loss a week ago against South Florida, 48-18, but they were in that game at halftime. They've played a brutal schedule, 7 of the top 30 offenses in college football. They sit at 3-8. Well, Seth Morgan will kick off out of a hold because of these howling winds.
Be careful kicking to that man we just saw, Mr. Beebe.
This will be fielded at the 15-yard line. Hit at the 22. UAB's offense. After Johnson, the up man, reels it in.
Yeah, that's not a good decision, Johnson. Braden Johnson, who we will see, number 40, we will see him potentially on the defensive line throughout this game in spots today. Normally a tight end, because of the depth issues and the availability issues, he's going to play some defensive line, but he's got to get out of the way there and get forward and let BB catch that football on the run with momentum going forward. BB's your big play guy. You got to get him touches as often as possible.
Handoff. Solomon Beebe picks up 4 off that left side. It is a reshuffled UAB offensive line today with Kirkland at left tackle, Franks the second at left guard, Lepkowski's the center. Then they go Morgan and Walker on that right side.
Yeah, and you see again here, Beebe trying to work off that left side. Nice job by this Tulsa defensive front, shutting everything down. Jaden Burnett, chief among them, number 11, does an excellent job there.
Kitna zips it. Second catch in this first quarter for their tight end, Elijah Lag, the JUCO transfer who leads that tight end room with 18 grabs on the season, hit by Zach Williams.
That's a nice concept. They send Caleb Williams up the field, they send BB to the flat, and then they sit Lag down in that curl area. You got to make a decision as those two defenders. Who are you going to deal with? They go over towards BB and retreat deep, leaves Lag open.
Third down of the game for UAB. They're 1 for 2. Pulling through a would-be tackle, lunging ahead for a first down run, a gain of 3 for Javon Jackson. Johnson and Alexander had him wrapped up, but the power from Jackson on full display.
Yeah, that's the other thing about these backs. You look at Jackson and Jacobs in particular, very difficult to bring down. They run through arm tackles, physical runners, and they always fall forward to get that extra yard.
Jackson goes 210, Jacobs listed at 220. On first down, it's Jackson trying to cut the corner, and he's tripped up. Chopped down back at the 29 by Nunu Campbell.
I mean, I don't need to say anything after that. His name's Nunu. He's going to make the play. It's a nice job by Nunu. Comes up, gets a piece of that ankle. It's a really difficult play to make in the open field there, and he made it.
The play. I like that, Reggie. That's top. That's quality stuff. 2nd and 14. New quarterback is in for UAB, and off the carom, it's intercepted. bringing it back. Ashton Williams off the chest of Iverson Hooks, and Williams has his first career interception. Devin Robinson.
Yeah, nice job there, just playing the carom. It's really as simple as play the carom, and he's able to it just comes off. That ball's got to be caught, and that's been an issue at times for UAB throughout the season. The football hitting guys in the hands and them not able to bring it in, that's impacted Jalen Kitna's numbers at times. And then here, you get an opportunity to get a nice completion over the middle, potentially move the chains, and it's a drop that turns into a pick.
Now, it was the first career interception for Devin Robinson. A.J. Allen between the tackles, a gain of a couple. And it's second down with less than a minute to play in this first frame. Turnovers have been a problem for UAB. They're 132nd in the country in turnover margin at now -14. On second down, Hayes is bear hugged up front.
Zach Johnson, number 90, does an excellent job. It's his responsibility to take care of the quarterback, and he didn't overthink it. If the quarterback keeps it, I'm going to make the play. If he pitches it, that's somebody else's problem. That's how you have to play that. He's right at home, and he makes the play.
Third down and 11. A diamond set. It's a full house with Hayes in the backfield. Allen on third down gets a good block. And this is a manageable fourth down. We'll call it a long three from inside the 20 in the red zone on what will be the first play of the second quarter when we
the first quarter
come back. It's 4th and 4. We'll discuss the decision after this. 7-3 UAB.
Welcome back to Tulsa. UAB leads 7-3. Coach, how do you get your offense going?
Yeah, I mean, we're moving the ball. We got 122 yards. Got to get the ball in the end zone. Probably going to go for it right here. We're downwind now, which is going to play a big factor in this game. It's blowing 30 miles an hour. So when you're going this way, you got a big advantage. So we got to get some points here in the second quarter.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
4th and 4 from the 18. Is this the right call, Reggie?
Yeah, I think so. You're in the red zone. Why not be aggressive here?
4th down. Hayes scanning. Hayes from a congested area, and he is going down underground. Back at the 22. It's a UAB sack. Hightower and Chris Burge combine on the turnover on downs.
Look at the push they get up the middle. The pressure. That's Denver Warren that starts it, number 9. He starts to collapse the left guard there, Sean Hill, and starts to create the issues. And then they collapse the pocket completely. Well done by Denver Warren, a guy who is one of those guys that they certainly trust and believe in. He was at Media Day representing this program, a rotational guy on that defensive front. Had a chance to start in this game and is playing well so far.
They go back to the ground. Hand it off to Jacobs. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage, no gain. It's 2nd down and 10. But that's now 2 drives that Tulsa has stalled. They had to settle for a field goal. And a turnover on downs in the red zone. On 2nd down. Between the tackles out to the 25. Brings up 3rd and about 7.
And James, to your point, that's what Trey Lamb was talking about, how they got to start putting points on the board. You want this UAB team to be forced to chase you in terms of from behind and force them to be a one-dimensional football team and throw the ball all over the yard. And hopefully you can get Kitna to make some mistakes. The way they're able to mix in the run and pass, they keep his pass attempts down, which makes this offense much more effective. Great job so far by Alex Mortensen mixing in some run and pass.
Tulsa came away with no points off the 1 UAB turnover on 3rd down. Kitna climbing the pocket. Kitna a hurdle. Kitna to the 31. He's just shy. It's 4th and 1. Zach Williams, the tackler.
I think they just gave him one of the greatest spots in the history of college football.
And they moved the chains. It's a 1st down. Wow.
And look at Kitna showing the leaping ability there. I thought he might have been short there, but got a great spot, and they give him the 1st down.
That's that 6'5" frame.
And I think people don't realize he's good enough, athletic enough to get himself out of trouble.
Snap throw to the edge. Blanketed by Champ Lewis, who covers up the wide receiver. Iverson Hooks makes his 2nd catch, and it's 2nd down.
Man, that is where Kitna is so good in that RPO concept there. When he's able to pull that ball out of the mesh point and knows where he wants to go with the football and immediately rips it into a receiver, he looks really good doing that.
And he gets a breather. They bring in Nate Rogers, the redshirt freshman. They run a lot of zone read action with him in the lineup. They've rotated 3 quarterbacks at various times this season. Rogers is the speedster from that position. A yard on the play. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, Rogers easily the best runner of the 3. Kitna the best in terms of passing the football. Ryder Burton is kind of more in the middle. He's a little bit of a hybrid between those 2 guys.
3rd and 2. Kitna checks back in. They also bring in Solomon Beebe on the right side towards the top of your screen. Kitna, he'll sneak it. He got popped. Leaning forward, does not get there. A gain of a yard. It's 4th and 1. Hudson Ball in the area with Nakai Johnson in that big group up front. William Alexander coming downhill.
Yeah, they tried to formation it. Unfortunately, the right guard there, John Darius Morgan, he fired off. There was nobody in the gap, so he didn't have anyone to block after he fired off. and then they fill in right behind him, and they're able to minimize the gain for Kitna that time.
4th and 1.
Same formation here.
Jet sweep. Beebe surrounded, and he's brought down. A loss of 2 and a turnover on downs. Devin Robinson, the first Hurricane, part of that defensive wave, and a big stop.
That's great recognition by this Tulsa defense. They found it really quickly. You could almost hear it. You could hear it really from all the way up here. Everybody in the stadium yelling sweep, and a great job that time by Tulsa defensively, finding a way to get off the field, defensively doing the job, trailing 7-3 here at home, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Timeout on the field. UAB on top 7-3. Early second, Tulsa's been held to just 50 yards rushing this afternoon. They're 0-7 this year when they rush for less than 200. When they get over that mark, they're 4-0. Averaging 3.3 yards per carry. Allen slicing ahead. Allen inside the 30. A chunk play of almost 9 on the ground. And Smacker, we're yet to see Dominic Richardson.
Yeah, James, he carried the ball 28 times for over 200 yards last week in their win over Army, but he has not been out there today. He's been standing by a heater with hand warmers in his hands. He said he did a lot of contrast, hot and cold tub this week to try to get ready, and he said it's mental at this point, but nothing from him so far.
Has not seen the field. There he is, fully dressed. It's been the A.J. Allen show so far. He's already carried the ball 11 times. He gets a breather. Picked up the first down. It's a new set of downs for the Hurricane.
This formation is a staple of Trey Lamb's offense. When he gets into this here, it's about sending a message, running the football thoroughly.
Presley on the outside. Their motion / sweep guy, the high school legend on senior day with a nice chunk.
What he does is he's able, Trey Lamb, is to get 2 tight ends on the field, but it doesn't look the way you would expect it to with 2 tight ends. Puts them in the backfield, and then he sets up a 2-way go. You can run the ball left or right, and there's a lead blocker either direction, something that he loves in this offense. And you see it right there, having success the last few plays.
Allen jump cut, and he's swallowed up in the backfield, a loss of a yard. That is the 4th TFL for this UAB defense, and that was Denver Warren.
Yeah, Denver Warren has been really good so far in this game. Great job by Warren getting up the field, making plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage. And right now, if you're Tulsa, the conversation is simple, and Trey Lamb talked about it. Got to finish drives with touchdowns.
2nd down and 11. Hayes dropping with some heat on it. He overshoots his intended target. 2 flags are out in the back corner of the end zone. Intended for Zion Steptoe. Looked like Gully on the coverage.
Gully, on that particular play, he flat out panicked because he was getting ready to get beat, and he just panicked and reached out and grabbed. And you've got to do a better job. Can't panic in that situation. Stay with the play.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. Foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball is placed on the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
A massive penalty, and the first of the game for the Blazers.
It's going to give this Tulsa offense that struggled to finish these drives an opportunity with great field position inside the 3-yard line.
Allen pumping those legs. No signal, and he will be just short.
How about this UAB defense? Regardless of what happens here, what they have done, particularly up front so far in this game, they've done an excellent job standing up at the point of attack.
2nd and goal from the 1. Back to Allen. Allen. Another stop. It's 3rd and goal. Eddie Tusum playing lights out. 5 tackles already, a pass breakup, and a quarterback hurry.
Yeah, he meets him in the hole and turns him back. Allen tried to sort of turn and back his way into the end zone, but the push too strong from this defensive front. Big 3rd down here.
Tulsa's 0 for 4 on 3rd downs. Wide open, touchdown. Julian Roberts on the receiving end. And for Hayes, that's a dozen touchdown passes in his freshman campaign. Tulsa has their first lead. It's 9-7 with the point after pending. He also just set the school freshman passing record previously held by T.J. Rubley back in 1987. 2,068 yards passing for Hayes. Flags come out on the point after.
False start. Offense, number 71. 5-yard penalty. Retry.
Pretty good start for Baylor Hayes to what's expected to be a really good career throwing the football. He's played really well here, and I think you give him more time in Trey Lamb's system with his ability that he already has in terms of natural talent, twitchy athleticism. You add that to knowledge of system, more experience, he's got a chance to be a really, really special player.
Morgan puts through the point after. Tulsa leads 10-7. The aforementioned Hayes just tied a freshman touchdown record. Has a dozen on the year. Tulsa takes advantage of a short field, Reggie. 7 plays, 39 yards, and here's the touchdown.
Yeah, it's just a nice read that time. Julian Roberts just slips out in the flat. Baylor Hayes, nice touch on the throw to get the end zone there.
What's the comp for Baylor Hayes? Because he doesn't make the all-bus team. Like, he's 6 foot, 180 pounds, but he's crafty, and he's gotten so much better week after week this year.
I'll give you a guy who, similar comp, Baylor Hayes a little bit thinner, but I'm going to go Sam Howell. Recently at University of North Carolina, found his way to the NFL. He's moved around a couple different teams. One of those guys that does an excellent job throwing the football on the move. Not the tallest guy in the world, so you have to give him some space to see at times, but can absolutely make any and every throw you're looking for. I'd go Sam Howell for a comp there.
I like it. End over end ensuing kick for the touchback.
Did that surprise you, that comp?
Yeah. Yeah, it did. I see it, and I believe in it because I believe in you.
I appreciate that. I think sometimes people are looking for or expect to hear comps that are like these lofty, right? Like,
I thought
Hall
you were
of
going
Fame
to
this, yeah.
Exactly. I was thinking John Elway, Steve Young, which Hayes is right-handed.
I try not to put that on these kids, man. That's too much. That is too much.
Honest feedback. That's always the way to go.
Absolutely.
Here's Kitna, UAB's offense. Less than 8 minutes to go before the half. Continuing to try and establish that ground game with Jackson. That hole is plugged by Hudson Ball, a rising freshman. They're really excited about his future.
Man, you watch this guy on tape. Every game, you see 2 or 3 plays where you go, there is no way that kid's a freshman. When we asked Trey Lamb about him, he gave a ton of credit to Ryan Switzer, who was the interim head coach, was on the previous staff. He was a part of keeping a guy like Ball committed to and signing here through the coaching change to bring Trey Lamb in.
2nd down and 10. Nice opening up the gut. Biggest of the day for Jackson, and he moves the chains. It's a chunk of 10 on the ground.
He's got the tight end, Elijah Ladd, coming across the formation, leading him up the field. He works off of that block up to the inside. Great vision, and he's able to get up the field and move the chains.
UAB's working into that 20-mile-an-hour breeze. The temperature has already dropped from where it was at the opening kick, and it will continue to plummet as this cold front moves in. Jacobs popped. Ray Coney, the top tackler in this American Conference. No gain on the play. And when he hits you, Reggie, you feel it.
When he hits someone else, you feel it. I felt that one up here. He is physical, downhill player, and he's the interesting thing about Ray Coney, he's not even 100% healthy. The guy's been battling through things. He's in the cold tub all week, and he finds a way to be out there every snap in practice and then every snap in the game.
On the outside pitch and catch, close to the 1st down marker. It will be 3rd and 1. Hauled in by Antonio Ferguson.
A ton of credit so far to this Tulsa defense between Hawkins and Hooks. Just 2 catches. We saw Hooks obviously with the touchdown catch. Just the 2 catches for 22 yards. Other than that, it's been absolutely nothing for Hawkins and Hooks.
3rd and 1. Kitna, that one's high and off the fingertips of Hooks. It's 4th down. Wind aided the incompletion decision time for UAB.
And that's when you get frustrated with Jalen Kitna. He has about 2 or 3 of those every game that he just sails high, and you go, if you just get that down, you minimize some drops by the offense, or by the other receivers, I should say, and all of a sudden the numbers will be through the roof.
Sweet toss, and they have the 1st down. Tremendous push up front. They pick up 4 yards and venture out close to midfield.
If you're going to go with something like that, you go with your best. You go onto that right side behind number 70, John Darius Morgan. He's your best offensive lineman. He gets a nice push in there amongst others, and they get that 1st down.
Morgan has played right guard. He's played right tackle. All 3 of the UAB right tackles have opted out for this one. been a carousel up front. Sidestepping, Kitna trying to keep the play alive. Kitna scrambling and dashing out of bounds to pick up 5 yards.
That's a nice play by Kitna, but he's got to make that decision a half a second sooner, and he doesn't take any of the punishment on the back and go now. See, he's still thinking about it. Just go ahead and go, and you're probably out of bounds before anybody can chase you down. You minimize that hit. And again, if you're Tulsa, you want to just make sure Kitna can't stay clean. Keep hitting him, keep making him have to get off the ground, and hopefully he'll start to make some mistakes in the second half.
2nd down and 5, 8th play of this drive. They run it with Beebe. Beebe hit by Coney, and he bounces forward to pick up the first down. A hard-earned 6-yard gain for Solomon Beebe, the sophomore from Montgomery, Alabama.
How about Beebe working off that right side? The physicality, finishes. Last season, he was able to share that running back room with his older brother, Lee Beebe Jr., who's now at Indiana. But look at what Solomon's able to do for you. An all-purpose guy, over 100 yards a game, return game, receiving game, and the rushing game. He can help you in so many ways. There's another RPO with Beebe in there, and they get the tight end over the middle.
Elijah Lag makes his 3rd grab of the game. A 17-yard rip, and they're knocking on the door of the red zone just outside the 20.
Now, this is really well executed by Kitna. Watch his eyes here. His eyes go to the right place, and they just stay there. And there's nobody there. Just throw it in there to your tight end and let him do the rest of the work. That's well done. Good execution by Kitna. Great anticipation on the read.
3 catches, 39 yards for Elijah Lag, the tight end. On 1st down, Beebe bouncing. Beebe with a burst, and he's ushered out inside the 5. A 1st down run of 18 yards, and it's 1st and goal.
Zach Williams certainly saved the touchdown, but Beebe again showing the elusiveness, runs through a couple of tackles there, and then he uses the speed, tries to outrun the defense. Can't quite get in the end zone, but this is great field position and a great opportunity for this Blazers offense.
11th play of this drive that is spanned 72 yards. Ryder Burton enters the lineup at quarterback. Attempted 1 pass in the 1st quarter. It was an interception. Keeps it himself on the read. Hit, stacked up, driven backwards. Forward progress. They mark him down at the 3. Linto Smith and William Alexander collab on the tackle. The 2-minute timeout is here. It's 2nd and goal for the Blazers.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
a look at interim head coach Alex Mortensen. Got that interim head coaching tag on October 12th after Trent Dilfer was let go. And he's juggling a lot of different things. Head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, all under his leadership. How do you feel about the way he's called this game so far?
I think that's where you give him a ton of credit, particularly like you mentioned today in terms of the way he's called this game. He's kept his offense by and large ahead of the chains. You take away the one drop that led to the interception, they've been phenomenal on offense. And then him as an interim head coach and all the missing or moving parts, I should say, that he's been able to sort of navigate and continue to keep these guys playing hard and being focused on a week-to-week basis. You have to give him a ton of credit for that.
On 2nd and goal, Burton swallowed up and he lost the football.
I think they're going to say he's down that time, James, and I think they're right in this
Ruling
call.
on the field is the runner is down. It's 3rd down.
It will be 3rd and goal. Devin Robinson wrenched it loose.
I think Burton's down here. We'll take another look. See it right there. See, he's down.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he's already down.
5-0. Timeout. Tulsa. Their 2nd. Game clock operator.
Tulsa
Please
called a
reset to
timeout. We'll take it
1-5-0.
with them. 3rd and goal when we come back. Third and goal for UAB, trying to reclaim the lead. And Reggie, if you're UAB, do you bring Kitna back into the lineup at quarterback?
Absolutely, because I think the threat of the RPO game with Kitna in there, it forces your linebackers to make a decision, or more importantly, likely hesitate before flying up the field because they know he can rip it past their ear for a touchdown. So I think Kitna being back in the game is certainly a factor here.
Third and goal for the Blazers. Blitz. Kitna. Scanning. Popped. Hits a Tulsa sack. Dax Collins belting the quarterback, and it's 4th and goal for the Blazers.
Timeout. Tulsa. Their third of the half.
I think Kidna might have
30
missed.
seconds.
James Kidna might have missed one there. It looked like he had BB in a one-on-one situation. I think Hudson Ball was trying to cover BB out in the flat. You got to float that ball over the top and let BB run underneath that and walk into a touchdown there. It's a great play. Well, watch the right-hand side of your screen. You see BB leave the screen. He's one-on-one with the defensive end. You've got to give him an opportunity to make that play there. Over to the left. Can't see it there. This is a really nice job on the pass rush. And both of these defenses have been really good at the line of scrimmage. Hakeem Gray, the defensive line coach for Tulsa, his group's done an excellent job. Sam Mills, who we talked about, his group for UAB has done an excellent job. These two defensive lines in this game are really controlling what's happening at the line of scrimmage.
31-yard try for DeLonga, and he boots it through to knot the score at 10 apiece with 1:42 to play before halftime. 13 plays, 62 yards, took 6:11 off the clock. That was a long one for the Blazers.
That was an important one for the Blazers, James, because look where the clock is. I think the middle 8 of this game going to be critical. Right there, UAB took control of the first part of it, mainly helping their defense. This is a defense that's depleted. They've struggled throughout the season. They're playing well today. They get a long rest on that drive. Likely going to be a short time on the field here, and then right back to halftime for another opportunity to rest. So a big drive there for the Blazers. They get points out of it. They tie this game at 10, but they did a great thing for their defense right there, giving them a long stretch to get off the field.
And UAB still has all 3 of their timeouts. Tulsa's out of timeouts. So how aggressive are you if you're UAB interim head coach Alex Mortensen?
Well, I think that's going to be interesting. I think the key here, what does Tulsa do on its first play here? If Tulsa gets something big on the first play, then they'll be a little bit more careful. A little pooch kickoff to start here.
Landon Lucas, the tight end, lumbers out to the 33. Now Tulsa, they have struggled to rush the football, and a lot of it because of this guy, number 9, Denver Warren, the defensive tackle.
Yeah, Denver Warren, a true kind of 3-technique guy, if you call him that, plays in that B gap, the gap between the guard and the tackle, and he's been dominant so far in this game. Gets up the field, creates chaos in the backfield with his penetration, and making plays left and right. Denver Warren has been the guy for this defensive front in this first half.
Has 5 tackles, 300 pounds up front. Pressure, Hayes gets away. Keeping the play alive, taking a shot into triple coverage, reeled in. Zion step-toe on the receiving end. What a pass from the freshman.
That's the brilliance of Baylor Hayes. First of all, Ezra Odenjor, you got to finish this young man. You don't finish, now you create an opportunity to let this kid get out on the edge, look at that twitchy athleticism, and drops that one in the bucket to step-toe down that sideline for a big play. Now they got an opportunity to put some points on the board.
That ball was on a string, goes for 42. Allen slicing, and Allen's popped at the 15-yard line. A gain of 9. They'll mark him down at the 17, and it's second down.
And Allen just went down. He just went down. He was coming across the formation and just kind of fell in a heap right in front of his offensive line.
Officials timeout. Injured player on the offense.
Works up to that left side. Little ankle tackle there, and he gets up, and he's uncomfortable on that right ankle right away. He motions to the sideline, hey, come get me.
And that right ankle is heavily taped. He's carried the ball 15 times today for 51 yards.
With an injury on the offense while the clock was running, it's subject to a 10-second runoff. However, UAB has declined the runoff. Second down, the clock will start on the snap.
So UAB declines the runoff. 1:12. Tulsa's in the red zone. It's 2nd and 2. And Braylon Presley checks in at tailback.
Well, which speaks louder to Richardson's unavailability that Smacker talked about earlier.
Presley is submarine. He picks up the first down, gets 4. What's the line of thinking by UAB declining the 10-second runoff?
Well, I think part of the mentality there might have been if they give up something here quickly, they get the ball back and give themselves a chance to score. I probably would have taken the runoff, even if that means I have to be conservative if I get the football back.
Hayes. Underneath, hits Tempest. Wiggles to the 5.
How good is Baylor Hayes throwing the football on the move? Doesn't matter if he's going left or right. He finds a way to contort his body to make an accurate throw.
Presley straight up the gut. Hits a touchdown. That scoring drive took barely a minute with no timeouts, and Tulsa has their largest lead.
Barely a minute. Have you met Trey Lamb? Great job that time by Braylon Presley, just right up the field. Nothing there, no deterrent. They're able to get it in there quickly with Presley. And again, Presley's a guy, no pun intended, pressed into action because of no Richardson and Allen going down on that previous play.
Leaves 32 seconds for UAB. Morgan the point after. It's 17-10. Golden Hurricane on senior day. They lead UAB with a half minute to play before we break for intermission. Scoring drive is 5 plays, 67 yards, and it took 66 seconds.
And that is the execution that Trey Lamb likes to see. Again, we'll go back to Baylor Hayes finding a way to get out of what looked like a sack.
Number 3 is wearing number 98, and number 17 is wearing 91 for UAB on the kickoff.
It looked like a sure sack, and somehow Baylor Hayes gets out of it and drops one in the bucket down the sideline, and all of a sudden this offense started cooking with fish grease, and they finished it with a touchdown.
The big play was that 42-yard bomb from Hayes to Steptoe. But Tulsa lost their bell cow running back today, A.J. Allen, on that series. So we'll keep an eye on that. They're already without Dominic Richardson, at least so far. He hasn't seen the field, but he is dressed today. They're without their elite tight end, Brody Foley. End over end ensuing kick into the end zone for a touchback. And remember, UAB is working into the wind with 32 seconds to go. How aggressive will they be offensively?
Kitna's got a strong arm. The issue there is you don't want him to sail one and give it away. And at times, again, this is an offensive line that's had its struggles. They give up a ton of sacks, 2.5 sacks a game. This is a good defensive front from Tulsa. You don't want to give up a cheap sack here. Now, the positive is you look at the timeout situation, Tulsa doesn't have any more. So if you give up a negative play, then you just let the clock run out and go to half.
They'll run it. Beebe trying to spring towards the sideline. Tripped up after a gain of 7. Inside of 20 seconds to go before the half.
Timeout. UAB. They're first. 30 seconds.
There's the timeout. 2nd and 3. Tulsa leads by a touchdown. It's been a long time since UAB has won a true road game. Wow. Over 1,000 days. November 26th, the 22 season against Louisiana Tech, the last time they won on the road. And that was the previous coaching staff. That wasn't this bunch.
That is a long time. A long time. It is. Now, that being said, it's hard to win on the road, period. And then this league just continues to improve. You think about where, 2 years ago, where, some of the teams at the top, the North Texas, the South Floridas were 2 years ago to where they are now. They are much improved football teams. Hard to go win at a lot of places in this league.
Between the tackles, Beebe blown up. No gain on the carry. It's third down. It was Jackson, I should say. And that will likely be the final play of this second quarter, unless UAB wants to call a timeout and take one shot, but it looks like they're content to head to the locker room.
That is the end of the first half.
It's a one-score game. Tulsa leads 17-10. Tulsa over 200 yards of total offense, 212. And Smackers with Coach Lamb. Smacker.
Coach, your offense scored a couple touchdowns since we talked last. What's cooking?
Well, right there, quarterback made an incredible play on the first down. He's playing really well right now. Again, when we're downwind, we've got to get touchdowns because it's tough sledding going this way. We're moving the ball, 212 yards of offense. We've got to capitalize on the red zone. We've been stopped twice on two fourth downs, so we've got to be better there.
Defensively, you've seen both Kitna and Burton. What adjustments do you make to each of them?
Yeah, they're playing really all three of those guys. So our defense coordinator's got a good beat on it. You know, Kitna, not quite as good a runner, but 15 can hurt you with his legs. So we got to defend both.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
You saw the note, Trey Lamb, 3-1 this season when leading at the half. And Tulsa on senior day up 17-10 as we break for halftime here from H.A. Chapman Stadium in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Welcome into Studio A. I'm Maria Tribal Peace. There's a lot of things to be thankful for this holiday season. The one thing I'm very grateful for is the opportunity to show you this week's top plays. We'll begin on the football field, North Texas and Rice. We talk a lot about Drew Mestemaker, but how about Wyatt Young? He's pretty good at football too. There he is, breaking multiple tackles for the Mean Green. Then he gets going, running all the way to the end zone for the touchdown. North Texas wins this one. The American Volleyball Championship was this weekend. Tulsa walked away victorious, but before they got to the champ game, they had to beat Florida Atlantic in the quarterfinals. Owls putting up a fight, leading 7-5. That's Lauren Patterson, the libero, coming up big with the dig. It's crossover season, which means not only fall sports, but winter sports are going on as well. Here's Memphis men's basketball. Zach Davis to William Wharton with the reverse slam dunk. Heading back to the football field, Tulsa taking on Army. Pay attention to Lento Smith Jr. That is a one-handed pick. Also, the Golden Hurricane come back and win this game. This was a defining moment in the matchup. Lento Smith, oh my goodness. Let's head back to the volleyball court for our top play of the week. This is Charlotte and South Florida. See this dig right there? That is Maya Thomas. Pay attention to her because she's not done yet. Boom, there she is again, diving to make a huge save, but still, there's more to come from Maya Thomas. Diving again. South Florida would eventually go on to win this point. They also go on to win the match. If you see a top play this week, make sure you use the hashtag American Top Plays on social. Keep it right here. We have more coming up for you on ESPN+.
Back here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, halftime, senior day for the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. They lead UAB 17-10 at the half. Baylor Hayes pacing for another 200-plus yard passing day. For halftime coming up after this, Tulsa will receive the third quarter kickoff, leading by a score here at the break. Back here at halftime, Tulsa leads UAB 17-10. It's senior day for the Golden Hurricane. And welcome inside H.A. Chapman Stadium with Reggie Walker. I'm James Westling. We've got Smacker Miles downstairs. It took a while for Tulsa to kind of seize momentum in this game, but what stood out, they've got the touchdown lead.
Yeah, I thought down the stretch of that first half, they were able to sort of right the ship. Baylor Hayes made a couple of plays, especially on that last drive, really in that first half, but particularly on that last drive, made a couple of special plays that showed his talent. That's really what allowed them to start to get Uncle Mo on their side.
He had that 42-yard bomb to Zion Steptoe that set up the Tulsa touchdown right before the half. They lead it 17-10. Here at the break, let's look at some first half highlights. Baylor Hayes was fantastic for the Golden Hurricane. He's pacing for another 200-yard day, but man, UAB has really fought here on the road.
They really have. They were able to run the ball with some success, particularly early on in the half. Jalen Kitna, particularly in RPO situations, has been really, really good with the football. You take away the one play that was essentially a drop, bounced right off the receiver's hands and went the other way for a Tulsa interception. And offensively, you would love the first half from the Blazers. And then when you think about it from Tulsa's standpoint, earlier in the first half, kind of some struggles. Didn't play clean, and then all of a sudden, Baylor Hayes starts getting out on the edge, starts making plays, and all of a sudden they're in business, and the offense is rolling.
Braylon Presley capped off that last drive for the Golden Hurricane. You haven't seen Dominic Richardson yet, their bell cow running back. It was A.J. Allen who got the workload most of the first half, but he suffered an injury and didn't return on that last drive. We'll keep an eye on that. The second half is coming up next. It's a touchdown difference here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. You're watching The American on ESPN. Tulsa leads UAB 17-10 as we get set for the third quarter. Smackers with the UAB interim head coach Alex Mortensen.
Coach Hayes was able to extend some plays. How do you minimize his impact?
Yeah, no, he's doing a good job running around, and he's made some, big plays. Couple he's run on, couple he's thrown on. So we got to keep trying to, stay in our rush lanes, and then guys doing a good job in coverage down the field as well.
You're right in this game with a limited roster in the second half. What did you tell your team?
Look, just keep fighting, and the biggest thing is just doing our job. We had a couple times on offense, we moved the ball. We got to execute better on short yardage and goal line. Some of it, we got to make sure that we're, there were probably some things we could call better. And then some of it, though, if we just, do our job, communicate right, get a hat on a hat, I think we're going to finish those. So that's the biggest thing, is not getting too emotional, just doing our job, executing, staying disciplined. That's the biggest thing right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
First half stats look like this. Tulsa, +5 on the ground, 118 passing yards to UAB's 73. Now it will be UAB who will have the wind to their backs for this third quarter. The third downs and the turnovers shed some light on why this one is so close as well.
Yeah, it's that, and I think the other thing, James, you look at the rushing numbers and you go, oh, that's not a bad first half for either team. There was labor in getting those rushing yards because these defensive lines have been so good.
Into the win. These kickoffs have been dying around the 25-yard line.
That's a great job by Ferguson.
UAB will start around that spot. The power rushing numbers in the first half, both of these teams with rushes that are 2 or less yards to go for a first down or a touchdown are 0 for 6. So a combined 0 for 12. And Kitna passing 73 yards. He's 7 for 9, but he's only attempted 9 passes.
Well, you like that ratio in terms of how many passes he's thrown. You don't want him to get to the point where he's got to throw it 40 or 50 times. So just 9 attempts in that first half tells you that they're having success in the running game, and they should stick to it as they did right here to start the half.
Isaiah Jacobs, a gain of 8. His brother, who spent many years in the NFL, Josh Jacobs, is in the house. Grew up here in Tulsa. Went to Independence Community College and then Maryland before UAB. And here's a burst. And Jacobs is plowing through defenders. Tripped up inside the 45 at the 43. Best rush of the day for UAB. It goes for 25.
Well, there's yards to be had against Tulsa's run defense. They're 110th in the nation. You've got to stay patient, though. This defensive front, they're big, they're physical, they make a lot of plays, but you have to stay with the running game, and eventually you pop one as they did right there.
Now 120 yards on the ground for the Blazers.
This could be a blitz with Devin Robinson here. Watch him off that left side of Kitna. Now he goes back to coverage.
Jacobs, stop and start. Ahead for 2, and it's 2nd down and 8. Brought down by Ray Coney, his 4th tackle, an injured
Officials timeout.
Golden Hurricane.
Yeah, that's Hudson Ball.
And that's the freshman, the future star, with 40 tackles on the year, sends us to a timeout. Early stages of the second half, Tulsa by a score. A look at Hudson Ball, trying to shake out an injury. He hobbled off on his own power. 3 tackles today, the freshman from Springdale, Arkansas.
Yeah,
really
Shiloh,
excited about his future.
Yeah, Shiloh Christian, which is where Gus Malzahn won a couple of state championships as a coach. Rhett Lashley came through there as well. So you start thinking about the pantheon of people that have come through that place in terms of football. He's amongst that list, a great list there.
UAB on the move on 2nd down, bursting through. Jackson close to the 30, tripped up by Elijah Green, the Thorpe semifinalist for that award for the nation's best corner. It's a 1st down for the Blazers.
We've talked a lot today about the Blazers and their lack of depth really being depleted defensively. Offensive line-wise, particularly in the middle, they're pretty strong. John Darius Morgan at right guard is their best offensive lineman. He's been in there much of the game as well. So they've been playing well in the offensive line, particularly in the run game.
On the outside, they hit Lag, the tight end. Leads the team with 4 catches today. It's a gain of 5, and it brings up 2nd down.
I actually like this offensive line in the middle. John Darius Morgan, who we talked about at right guard, Adam Lepkowski at center, and then the left guard, Baron Franks II. That group inside, the interior group of guys, is where is what they like and is their best group. So I think that's part of why they're having some success inside running the football.
Snap throw to the outside, and Kitna puts it too far out in front of Hooks. It's incomplete, only the 3rd misfire for the UAB quarterback today.
And again, they haven't, listen, they're in this game down a touchdown in the what you'd call the high red area, right inside the 30-yard line. Hawkins has not caught a pass today, and Hooks has been limited in his opportunities. Just a couple of catches as well, and those were earlier in this game, and they're still in it. You got to give a ton of credit to UAB for what they've done, especially on the defensive side of things, while this offense right now hasn't been able to get some of their key playmakers involved in the passing game.
That was a big key for the Tulsa defense, was to limit those wideouts. On 3rd down, bouncing free, it's a 1st down run inside the 10 for Jackson. Sets up 1st and goal. Lento Smith making the tackle. It's a gain of 20.
I want you to watch this run right here. Watch him work to the left. Watch him switch the football right there. See, he understood what was happening, and he made the cut. Then he had to get himself into free space and then switch the football to the outside hand. He's able to swat away Lento Smith initially, get an extra 6 yards out of that because he moved the ball to that outside hand. Great awareness by Jackson there to create the big run.
Jackson is UAB's top rusher, and awareness 99. On 1st and goal, Jackson sidestepping, runs into traffic, no gain.
I see what you did that with the awareness 99. Bringing it back to Madden ratings, or right now, college football is back with EA Sports, so bring it back to that. I like that, the 99 awareness.
And it's very back. College football 25, and then college football 26.
Absolutely. Shout out to the folks at EA Sports and everybody included. Corey Moss and his people done an excellent job.
9th play of this drive for UAB. Jackson between the tackles is stuffed again. Maybe a yard. It's 3rd and goal for the Blazers offense.
And this again is where these 2 defensive lines have done the job. Down in the red zone, down inside the 5-yard line, inside the 10-yard line. Both of these defensive lines have stood up on a regular basis in this game in these situations.
Big number 90, Joe Yelly's had a nice day for the Hurricane front.
Yeah, keep an eye on either number 10 here, Tim Hardiman, 99, Ty Newhouse. A couple of guys inside that can create havoc up the middle.
On 3rd and goal, Kitna whips it. Corner, touchdown, UAB.
Hawkins.
An 8-yard grab for Brandon Hawkins Jr., his 2nd touchdown of the season. And we're a point away from a tied game.
The offense.
Just a little speed cut out. Nothing major here, just a speed cut. Can I outrun guys to the pylon? And I can, and that's a touchdown.
DeLonga on for the point after. drive. We are all even at 17 with 10:24 to play in the third quarter. UAB strikes first in this second half. A 10-play, 74-yard touchdown drive. We are tied at 17, and Reggie, this is a great example of a team that the guys that are here, they are all connected, which is what Alex Mortensen told us, the interim head coach.
Yeah, and he talked about being able to share information, right? What he's getting from players, what he's giving to players. They all work in harmony to figure out, hey, what do we like? What's working? What do we need to run more of? What are you guys seeing on the field? I love seeing that kind of input from player to coach and coach to player, getting everybody on the same page, trying to figure out the solution. There was no complaining there. There was no screaming, get me the football. It was very much a situation where it was like, hey, let's all get on the same page. How do we make plays together?
Yeah, that was a conference call between head coach, quarterback, and running back. Ensuing kick for the touchback. This drive for Tulsa will start at the 25. Now, that was the first time in 4 games that Tulsa has allowed an opponent to score on the opening drive of the second half.
That's an absolutely ridiculous statistic. and well, because the added piece of that is they've been winning, right? And that tells you that they set the tone early in second halves.
They've been the team that's held the lead in the second half and set the tone. A.J. Allen is back in it, tailback, and making his presence felt. He is a lightning bug. Tripped up just shy of midfield, a 22-yard gain.
And this is what the concern was for UAB. Second half, depleted defense. Where are we at physically? Do we start to wear down?
Sarod Bryant made the touchdown-saving tackle. Back to Allen. The ankle looks healthy. Plunges over left tackle for a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, Jaquan Adams out there at left tackle, number 72. Participated in senior day activities today. The interesting thing about that young man, his entire career, basically, he's been with Trey Lamb. He was at Gardner-Webb with him. Then he found his way to East Tennessee State with Trey Lamb. And now here at Tulsa, had a chance to talk to his mom before the game. They absolutely love Coach Lamb, and they are fired up for everything he's done for Jaquan in his career.
Play fake from Hayes, climbing the pocket. And UAB slams the door shut.
Kyle Mosley, that's a really nice job. He didn't get too far out of his lane, and he was able to recover there to make sure Baylor Hayes couldn't get out of the back end there and create a big play down the field with his legs. Watch him here. Watch 54. He's to the right of your screen. He spins back and comes back across him, and that's Denver Warren, number 9 as well. They come back and make that play. That's really, really nice job of those guys recognizing, hey, the quarterback's taking off. I got to reroute and keep him from getting down the field.
Makes it 3rd and 5. Tulsa's 1 for 5 on 3rd downs. Hayes one-on-one, jump ball, intercepted. Still on his feet. UAB with their first takeaway. Picked off by Tasai McDaniel, his first career interception. And this game has been flipped on its head.
He did everything right. He's in phase, in coverage, down the field, one-on-one situation. Now watch him find the ball and then fight through the hands and continue to scrap with Grayson Tempest, and he finds a way to pick that ball off, and then you got to turn into an athlete. Go be an offensive player like you likely were earlier in your life in high school and before that, and go try to score, and sets his team up with great field position after the big return.
UAB has 1st and 10 after the INT. Underneath, 2 hooks. Dances out of bounds, a gain of 6. They mark him down at the 30-yard line.
And this is where, look at a guy like Iverson Hooks can hurt you. And we talked about it. He shows up in big games. He was big in the Memphis game as well, 10-plus catches. You see right there last week against USF, making plays left and right. He's a guy that you want to keep involved.
Between the tackles on 2nd down. It's a gain of 4, sets up 3rd and 1. With less than 8 to play in the 3rd quarter, UAB on the move after the INT.
Yeah, the Blazers doing a nice job continuing to mix in the run, shrinking this game down a little bit. Just get up inside, get behind that offensive line, and push and set yourself up with a very manageable 3rd and 2. I think the playbook's wide open here, because this is, to me, this is go for it or even kick a field goal territory, because the wind's at your back.
On 3rd and 2, play fake. Kitna in some trouble. Kitna clobbered back at the 33. Joe Yelly with a Tulsa sack.
I think you kick it here for 2 reasons. Number 1, Kitna's got to come off the field because his helmet came off. And so, as you see here, he's got to get rid of this football. He's got to do a better job being aware. And I agree with this decision. Go ahead and kick it. Jalen Kitna was going to have to come off because the helmet came off, number 1. Number 2, you've got the wind at your back, so go ahead and kick the field goal here, because a 50-yarder is not as difficult. If you get it up into this wind, it should be able to carry it through the uprights.
It's a 49-yard try. Would be a season long for DeLonga. And DeLonga shakes it. No good.
It wasn't a distance issue. He just hooked it.
Our score remains the same, tied at 17. Timeout on the field. All even here in Tulsa. Tulsa head coach Trey Lamb, his journey, Gardner-Webb 2020 to 23, took them to their first ever FCS playoff appearance, and then one season at East Tennessee State's 2024. Here he is at Tulsa, and they have a chance to close the season on a 3-game winning streak, which would be huge for recruiting momentum. The cohesion has been strong. Handoff to Allen, and Allen gets plugged after a gain of 7, but Lamb is a young up-and-comer in this profession.
2 words, bona fide winner. He'll find a way to win football games. He's going to improve the talent on a consistent basis. And what I love about him is he's aggressive with the right level of balance of when not to be. He does a lot of things off his gut, but he does a lot of things off the intelligence and the information that he has. I think he's one of the better young coaches I've seen at blending analytics with gut instincts of how to call a football game.
And he seems to have a knack for when to go tempo, when not to go tempo, when to huddle. His feel for pace of play is remarkable.
And he understands the game so well. Oftentimes, he can tell you exactly what an advantage is going to be going into a game, exploit it, and then you look at the numbers and you go, you told me it was coming. As you see step-toe there, can't make the grab. And they had an issue earlier in the season dropping passes, this offense. I believe it might have been the ECU game. I think they dropped 4 or 5 passes in the first half. That time right there, not a perfectly thrown ball there from Baylor Hayes, but one that they got to be able to bring in and move the chains.
Tulsa goes 3 and out after the UAB missed field goal. This is 4th and 3. Tulsa down their top 4 receivers from the beginning of the season. The Tulsa offense on first downs today, 168 yards, just 72 on all other downs combined. Davies hangs it up there. Iverson Hooks is dangerous in the return game, looking for a seam, and he skates ahead to the 28-yard line. That's where UAB will start this drive. After a 46-yard punt and a 12-yard return by Hooks. UAB has scored the lone touchdown here in the second half. Tulsa held a 17-10 lead at the break. Who has momentum right now, Reggie?
I don't think anybody does. I think if you're UAB, based on everything you've gone through the last week or so, and then how depleted you are roster-wise, I think you feel really good about your position in this football game. And so that's something I would take away from it. So I guess if I had to pick one, it'd be slightly in their favor.
Jackson bulldozes ahead for 4. If you're just joining us, UAB, there was a pregame incident that happened exactly 1 week ago, a stabbing at the facility before the game featuring 3 UAB football players. And here we are 7 days later. They went on to play that game last Saturday and played inspired for a half. They've had close to 30 opt-outs in this one today, so they are roster depleted. They have 2nd down and 6. Stretch play. Spinning ahead Jackson close to the first down. And it will be 3rd and about 3. UAB is 5 for 10 today on 3rd downs. The tackler was Elijah Green.
And that shows the masterful job of game planning and then managing the situation that interim head coach Alex Mortensen has done this week. He and the rest of that staff have done a tremendous job coming up with a game plan and executing it by the players so far to give them an opportunity to go into the 4th quarter in position to be a factor down the stretch of this game.
On 3rd down, they run it with Jackson. Jackson looking for an alley. Gets just a yard, and it's 4th and 2.
I'm going to say something because I had a chance, pregame it's always interesting. You go down, you can watch guys on film all day. You got to go down on the field and look at them. I'm going to tell you right now, Ty Cooper, Nakai Johnson, Ty Newhouse, and Byron Turner Jr., Jaden Burnett, that group, defensive linemen, those are big human beings that are very hard to move. And Hakeem Gray does a great job making sure they're in the right position, their hands and their leverage points are executed properly, and it gives them a chance on every play. That was an example right there on that 3rd and short situation.
Second punt of the day for Patrick Foley. First one went for 53. He backs up Tempest, who catches helmet high around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that might have been a situation with Tempest where that ball ran up on him because it got a little bit into the wind, and the wind kind of drove it a little bit closer toward the goal line, ran up on him a little bit.
A 48-yard bomb of a punt.
I'm telling you, man, you go back there to return punts in wind, it is a lonely feeling when that ball's up in the air and there's a chance for the wind to get involved with it.
The temperatures here at H.A. Chapman Stadium continue to plummet. The feels like down to the mid-30s with a 20-mile-an-hour breeze. And Tulsa working into that wind. Hayes throws a pick, intercepted. Angling inside the 5. It's a touchdown. Sarad Bryant, a pick 6, and the Blazers have their first lead since it was 7-0. There is a flag out on the play.
And the offense is staying out there for Tulsa. This might be either a defensive holding, I think, in the secondary on a slant route working what would have been in behind where Bryant was.
Pass, holding, defense, number 23. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Donald Lee, the fifth-year senior corner, a gut punch. It takes 6 off the board.
Yeah, they were, I think it was when Lee's covering and they were working to the inside. Bryant was undercutting the route that he was covering. He grabbed the receiver trying to keep him from getting free, and that's where you see the flag thrown.
What a swing in momentum. And it's a Tulsa first down. Hayes back to the drawing board. Looping down the boundary, one-on-one, step toe, can't bring it in. 2nd and 10 for the Hurricane. Tariq Watson on the coverage.
Steptoe's got to do a better job just focusing on the football. He spent so much time with that left hand fighting that I think it made it more difficult for him to make the catch. See, look at that left hand. He's initiating some of that contact with the left hand, spending so much time doing that, maybe loses a little bit of concentration on the football and can't bring it in.
Allen stretching right. Allen. A gain of 9 on the ground. 3rd and 1. Nifty cuts from A.J. Allen.
Yeah, that was a great cut. Cam East was pushing a defender to the outside, and Allen noticed it, cut right back up inside off of that block, and then got back upfield, created a 9-yard gain.
Allen again. Slips, but he has the first down after he picks up 2.
Yeah, just getting into some of their zone stuff. That time working to the outside. Now you got an injured player down, and that's Allen again.
Timeout. Injury on the offense.
Allen has taken a beating today. 20 carries, 94 yards. Got nicked up towards the end of the first half. Braylon Presley would be next man up.
See if it's, again, that right leg or that right side. I think that's what it was in the first half. I think it might have been that right ankle.
Tied at 17, 2.5 to play in the third.
And he's having some trouble with that right side this time. Again, favoring that right leg or ankle or whatever it might be. As you see the tape job on the ankles there. He is laboring his way off, and as you mentioned, Braylon Presley, now the smaller of all the backs, at about 175 pounds, but he is quicker than a hiccup in that backfield.
Play action. Hayes against the grain, on a string. What a throw! Grayson Tempest hauls it in around the 40. McDaniel on the coverage.
I don't know if the throw was better or the catch was better. First of all, this is a seed by a right-handed quarterback going left, and then Tempest, go get it, and watch the toe tap, gets the left foot down right before the right foot goes down to make sure he's in bounds.
27 yards. from the 38. Hayes stepping up, taking off, and he's sandwiched for a 2-yard sack.
Denver Warren, he's been unbelievable in this ball game. Denver Warren, one of those guys, we talked about him earlier, he's going to do exactly what he's asked to do. He executes what he's asked. He's been a rotational guy. One of the opportunity, he gets an opportunity to start in this game today, and he has answered the call for Coach Mills, his defensive line coach, and the rest of that defensive staff. How about the game plan by Coach Russ in this defense in this ball game?
Warren has 6 tackles, 2 for loss. Allen springing to the outside to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Picked up a couple. It's 3rd and 10 for the Golden Hurricane. Jeremiah Vessel making the tackle.
How about this performance by this defense? An inspired group under defensive coordinator Steve Russ, down over 20 players from their normal rotation, and somehow they have put together this kind of a performance.
Allen on 3rd down. Jitterbugs and he's chopped down after a gain of 3 to the 35-yard line. It's 4th and 7. What's the call here, Reggie?
I think if you're Trey Lamb, you're probably going to do something to get Baylor Hayes outside of the tackle box. You want to get him out on the edge, give him an opportunity to see it clearly, and or use his feet to create a play.
Tulsa's 0 for 2 today on 4th downs. This is 4th and 7 from the 34.5-yard line.
And a punt here does you no good in terms of field position anyway.
Hayes, 4-man rush. Hayes buying time underneath to Allen. Makes one man miss. Another, the human joystick to the 21. It's a 1st down, and that's all Hayes and Allen.
There is no way this should be a 1st down after what has to happen here. A little check down. I thought he should have asked Allen to make a block and run. Instead, Allen gets busy, starts working his way up the field, makes a couple of guys miss. Baylor Hayes, A.J. Allen, they got them cooking going into the 4th quarter here in Tulsa. 17-17 score. The Golden Hurricane in plus territory in the high red area, looking to take the lead.
It's all tied up going to the fourth quarter. I talked to Tulsa quarterback Baylor Hayes earlier this week about being the guy as a freshman, and he said it's awesome. It's everything I could have dreamed of. As far as what he's gotten better at, he said everything's really slowed down pre-snap, which has given more comfort after the ball has been snapped. As far as what he can get better on, he said everything. He came off the field after that last interception, and he was looking at how he could have thrown it to the opposite shoulder. He's been a lot better on this drive, guys.
He is tactical. He plays like a veteran. And he's really good at handing the ball off to A.J. Allen. Hits a touchdown. 22 yards, and Tulsa reclaims the lead.
It's just a great job by Allen working off that left side behind Jaquan Adams and Sean Hill. A couple of veterans, senior and redshirt senior, between the two of them. Work off of that side, go behind the big vets. Over 600 pounds a man to that left side. They create a crease. He hits it immediately. Touchdown.
123 yards today for A.J. Allen. And the point after makes it Tulsa 24, UAB 17. A.J. all day. Allen's up to 123 yards, and Tulsa leads by a score. A 9-play, 85-yard touchdown drive, 3:31 off the timer to give Tulsa a 24-17 lead, and A.J. Allen capped it with a 22-yard rushing score. He has a new career high, 123 yards today.
He's been absolutely excellent. Inside, outside, and probably the most spectacular play of the game was a catch to pick up a first down right there close to the end of the third quarter there.
Kept that drive alive. That was a fourth down play. Went for 13. How much does UAB have left in the tank here in the fourth quarter? Touchback on the ensuing kick.
I know one thing, you got to give a ton of credit to Tulsa in this ball game. One thing they've made sure to do is not give an opportunity to BB in the return game. They've minimized the opportunities for him to do something spectacular.
He leads the conference. He's top 6 in the country in kick return yards. And he hasn't had a touch today. Kitna has to work into that wind. Still 17, 18 miles an hour. Hands it off. Jacobs squirts through for a 6-yard pickup. UAB's only put the ball in the air 14 times. They've run it 38 times today.
That's another guy in Jacobs. Right now, you look at him and you say, hey, you're in your hometown. This is a chance for you to make some noise. You challenge him to put this team on his back and carry the mail here in this fourth quarter.
He's had big games over the course of his UAB career. Had 82 a week ago against South Florida at a touchdown. On second down, movement before the snap. They blow it dead. They toss a flag.
Let's see. I don't love this penalty. I'll explain it here in a minute.
Full start. Offense, number 3. 5-yard penalty, second down.
So it goes against the running back, Jacobs. What do you not like about it?
Well, it looked like Caleb Brown. Caleb Brown was out on the left. They shifted, they motioned Ferguson back inside. So Caleb Brown was pointing to the official asking, hey, am I on the line, am I on the line? He never got a response from the line judge. He moved up and they threw the flag right at the snap. That's on the line judge. You need to acknowledge that receiver who's asking to make sure he's lined up properly.
On second down, Kitna scrambles ahead to pick up a couple. Tim Hardiman was in his grill. I think, Reggie, you make an excellent point about the line judge not acknowledging the receiver who's begging for help to make sure he's lined up in the correct spot.
Absolutely. He's doing everything right that he's supposed to do there, and he ends up getting the call going against him. I know they officially announced it against Jacobs, but I think they just misidentified, and I think they really actually called that on number 5, Caleb Brown.
This
Nonetheless,
is 3rd and 3.
Yep, there you go. Kitna figured it out.
Kitna tosses towards the boundary and a big tackle. Devin Robinson, his second impact play today.
And this is about velocity on the football, right? This ball just kind of dies on the way out there, and it gives the defender time to come up and make a play there and keep Evan McCray from getting anything after the catch.
It's about the football and maybe the wind. Foley on to punt for the 3rd time. It's 4th and 3.
I think Grayson Tempest might need to move up. The wind, they're kicking into the wind. This ball may die before it gets to him.
Foley hangs it up there. Tempest signals for a fair catch, and he muffed it. No signal yet. UAB thinks they have it. And they do.
Ruling on the field is a muff, recovered by UAB, first down.
Jalen Ferguson comes away with the rock.
Watch this ball. It keeps tailing away from Tempest, and all of a sudden it takes off just a little bit at the end, throws him off. It gets into his body too high on his chest, and he's unable to bring it in. That's very fortunate that time for UAB to get this football back. A huge play in this game, and we talked about special teams was going to have to be a factor.
Both of these teams bottom 3rd in the country in turnover margin. UAB is +1 now. That's the 2nd Tulsa turnover. So this puts the nose of the football at the 31. UAB in plus territory. Tulsa has owned the field position today. A major discrepancy in field position rate.
I wonder if this is an expedited review. Maybe they're checking whether or not Tempest recovered that ball first, and it was ripped out from him by a UAB player.
Muff, recovered by UAB. That play is under further review.
And that's exactly what it is. I think they're checking to see if Grayson Tempest got on that football first, and maybe it was ripped out under the pile. But they're going to have clear, indisputable evidence to show that he fell on that football first and had a clean recovery before the UAB players got into the mix. This will be very interesting.
I would think this would be very difficult to overturn, to have a clear shot and a clear recovery by Tulsa when the ruling on the field was UAB recovered the fumble.
I think you're absolutely right. I think, and it's difficult to see here. We're going to get some looks at it here. Here we go. See, Tempest comes in from the left, and now it's just 3 guys in there. That looks like Tempest may have rolled over with the football. Who are you saying has possession there? I think that's the question. See, right here, you see it, and I see the blue gloves in there from Tempest. Now who has it? See, I see green gloves as well, and then they roll over. It looks like Tempest is on top now.
But if it's a tie, it goes to the offense, correct?
Right, I would think so. But again, are you taking it away from UAB with a tie in terms of the video evidence? I think that's what's going to be most important. I'm not sure what they're going to do here. I think it's hard to overturn it with a tie, if you will.
This will be a learning experience for everybody.
I think whatever this thing was called is huge in this particular situation. This could get overturned, but I would suspect.
After review, ruling on the field is upheld. First down, UAB.
There you have it.
Yeah, I just didn't think visually you had anything that was clear and obvious that it was Tempest only with the football. I think if they would have said Tempest recovered it initially, I think they would have upheld that as well.
So UAB sets up shop at the 31, 1st and 10. Going into the wind. The team with the ball going into that stiff breeze has kept it on the ground. A gain of 4 up the middle for Isaiah Jacobs, brought down by Woodham, the outside linebacker.
James, I think this is the perfect time to go with an RPO concept here and see if you can hit a slant. You've run the ball well. Those linebackers are starting to flow downhill really aggressively.
Back to Jacobs, looking for a kick-out block, prodding right, and he's stacked up after a gain of 2.
And I think that's what that was. That might have been an RPO there. Defensively, they stayed home on that backside, the right side of the defense, left side of the offense. They stay home. Kitna goes ahead and hands that football off. That's the right decision.
Nakai Johnson got to him first. 3rd down. UAB is 5 for 12 on 3rd downs. They've come up empty on their last 3.
I think this is a 2-down situation here.
Kitna locks in, zips it. What a catch by Iverson Hooks. Clasping it with 2 hands to move the chains. It's a 1st down.
This is a nice job by Iverson Hooks. He's working back to the inside off the left. He knows he's got a defender on his back, and he sees, obviously, Ray Coney coming towards him. He still stays tough, steps up, makes a catch, and moves the chains.
He's had a breakout year. 4th most receptions in single-season program history. Up the gut, Jackson with a seam and a touchdown. 20 yards on the quick hitter. And UAB is a point away from tying the game at 24.
It's just a nice job. There's nobody in that gap. He sees it, hits it, and it's a foot race. Jackson beats everybody to the crib, as they say. That is a huge, huge touchdown run there for UAB.
Points off turnovers. The point after slips inside the right upright. Deadlocked at 24. Timeout on the field. 10:42 to go. Back and forth here in Tulsa. We've got a good one brewing here in Tulsa, tied at 24, 10:42 to play in the game after a muffed punt, a 4-play, 31-yard drive for UAB, just a minute 47 off the clock.
And that's the one thing Trey Lamb has talked about all year for his team is avoiding the catastrophic situations, avoid the catastrophic mistakes. That time in this particular game, they sort of got away with a pick six earlier, but that time they muff a punt and it turns into a touchdown.
Tulsa 112th in the country in turnovers. Fielded by Lucas. Lucas trying to pull through bodies to the 37. A.J. Allen's had a career day rushing the football for the Golden Hurricane. 123 yards. Do they go back to him on this series?
I think they absolutely should and will, and he's done an excellent job inside, getting outside, showing the speed. But I think the most thing that I've been impressed with today is his toughness. He continues to battle through not being 100% healthy in that lower body on that right side. But what does he do? He keeps giving the production for his football team.
His 24th attempt would be next. Jump ball incomplete. Allen really sold it. Lucas couldn't come down with the high point catch. It's 2nd and 10.
Baylor Hayes can't make that decision. He's got to. I know he's a young player, and this kid's got a ton of talent. And he can make some throws that most people can't make, but you cannot just throw that ball into harm's way right there. You've got pressure coming. You got to find a way to get away from that guy and throw that football away. That is very, very dangerous with the football there.
On 2nd and 10, Allen. Patience. Allen. A gain of 3 to the 41. It'll be 3rd and long, 3rd and 7, and Tulsa's 2 for 9 today on 3rd downs. Sherrod Bryant, the stopper.
Yeah, Sherrod Bryant got the tackle, but Vessel made that play. He came flying down the alley, and he came to the outside or upfield shoulder, as you would say, for A.J. Allen, and forced him to stop his feet where his help was to the inside. That's well done by Vessel.
Hayes digs out a low snap underneath, and step toe is decleated. A loss of a yard. It's 4th and 8, and the UAB defense gets off the field. Devin Hightower lays the wood.
Yeah, Devin Hightower laid the wood, but that started with number 90, Zach Johnson, the freshman, coming off the edge, creating a bunch of pressure on Baylor Hayes, forcing him to get rid of it about a half second sooner than he wanted to.
Iverson hooks back deep. Fourth and 8 with just over 9 minutes to go. Tulsa punting with the wind behind them. Angus Davies, one of the top punters, top 3 in average in the conference, backs up Hooks to the 10. Hooks still on his feet before he spun down at the 11. 50-yard punt, just 1 on the return. Our game summary, UAB almost 200 yards on the ground, Tulsa 168. But those 2 second-half turnovers have been costly for the Golden Hurricane.
Yeah, the turnovers can cost you, obviously, as you talked about. It has led to points. And then the other part of it is being able to run the football has allowed UAB's defense to spend some time on the bench, getting their win because it's a depleted bunch, and they've played really well for the most part throughout this football game, and that's why their team is still in it.
UAB had a pick 6 that was called back due to a defensive holding call. On 1st and 10, Solomon Beebe picks up a yard. It brings up 2nd down and 9 for the UAB offense with their worst starting field position of the day.
And a ton of credit goes to this Tulsa defense as well, as they have held Beebe in check in this ballgame.
Averages 108 yards all-purpose per game.
Keep an eye on 33, Will Alexander here, the linebacker. Got up a little slow that time.
Between the tackles, and Tulsa's all over it. Joe Yelly, Hudson Ball, Johnson, and Will Upshaw up front with the push, a loss of 2.
Yeah, Joe Yelly, look at him play two guys in there, and it just creates the freedom for Upshaw to show up and make that play. Hudson Ball cleans it up as well, but Joe Yelly did an excellent job not only locking down a gap, but keeping hold essentially of two offensive linemen, forcing two guys to try to block him. Neither guy was successful, and he's the reason they make that play.
3rd and 10. Kitna straight back. Wings it, hooks with a catch at the 25. Pirouetting out of bounds. It's a first down. A gain of 14.
That's a really nice throw that time by Kitna. Watch his eyes. He's looking there the entire time, but look where he puts this football. Out on the edge toward the boundary and lets his guy go make a catch and move the chains.
Hooks with the team best 5 grabs today. 46 yards and a touchdown. He's been targeted 6 times. Jackson trying to bounce it to the corner. Jackson with a burst, accelerates towards the sideline. Ridden out after a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down and 4. Ashton Williams with the tackle.
He's so good at the hesitation. Watch him right here. And then again, right there. That forces Lento Smith to start reaching and grabbing, and then he can just swat him away and turn the corner and pick up 4 more yards. He's shown an ability, Jackson that is, to do that throughout this ballgame.
Closing in on a 100-yard effort. Back to Jackson, and he loses 2. Spun down by Ray Coney and Devin Robinson.
Yeah, Devin Robinson at that, what they call the star position, kind of nickel, comes flying down inside. He's the edge player there. Sometimes you call that the hang player. He fires inside and makes the play in the backfield.
Coney's up to 11 tackles today with the assist. His 9th game this season with double-digit stops. 3rd and 5. Kitna with an empty backfield. Loads it up. Wide open Brown. Brown sidestepping to the 15-yard line. Longest play of the day for the Blazers, 57 yards.
Yeah, they were trying to change the coverage in the back end, and Lento Smith just slipped. He was going to be the guy in the middle of the field. He slipped. And because of that, you see it top left of your screen, Lento Smith, he just fell down, and he's trying to get back up because they're changing the coverage. Williams is spinning downward, down toward the line of scrimmage. Lento Smith's trying to move to the middle of the field. He slips, and you got a free guy running up the seam.
Just over 5 minutes left, 1st and 10 from inside the 20. They run it. Jacobs to the 10-yard line, stonewalled there. They'll give him 2. 2nd down and 8 upcoming for the Blazers.
And if I'm UAB here, one of the added things I'm thinking about here is I'm not trying to take up or not trying to score all that quickly. As you see there, that's their best offensive lineman in John Darius Morgan down on his face there. That's not what you'd like to see if you're UAB.
We'll take an injury timeout. UAB
timeout.
on the move, tied at 24 late in the 4th. Well, look at the reshuffled UAB offensive line because John Darius Morgan sidelined with an injury for this play.
So what they do is Baron Franks is going to stay at left guard. Caleb Perez, who at times has played left guard, he comes in at right guard to replace John Darius Morgan, whose normal backup, Barry Walker, is playing right tackle.
And Jacobs plowing behind that right side with fresh legs blocking for him. Perez, the new right guard, paving out a lane for Jacobs to make it 3rd and 1.
And John Darius Morgan just came back onto the field to get back to that right guard spot. Be very interested to see if they choose to go behind him and Barry Walker off of that right side, a combined 650 pounds at right guard and right tackle right now.
UAB has dominated this 4th quarter. 100 yards more than Tulsa. 3rd and short, 3rd and 1.
Unbalanced formation, extra tackle in here.
They toss it out to Jackson, and Jackson snakes through for the first down. It will be 1st and goal from inside the 5-yard line at the 3 for the Blazers. Less than 4 minutes to go. Keep an eye on the clock, tied at 24.
And now it looks like you've got a Tulsa defensive lineman.
That's Joe Yelly.
Oh, wow. You can't afford to lose him, the 300-pounder.
Injured player on the defense.
Who's played really well for them inside. And again, this gives John Darius Morgan a little extra time to make sure he's back right as well.
Please reset the game clock to 3:48.
Tied at 24. This has been a wild one here in Tulsa.
You know, it really has. And James, I think sometimes, because I love your description when you say wild one, I think sometimes people get caught in it's got to be 500 yards passing and all of these, and it's got to be 50 to 40. No. You can have a wild football game that is filled with running the football,
totally agree.
Physicality at the line of scrimmage. We've seen stops in the red zone by both teams defensively. We've seen big plays down the field. We've seen a little bit of everything in this football game. And to your point, it's been certainly entertaining and definitely some fun chess matches going on back and forth.
3 combined turnovers. 3 combined turnovers on downs. Joe Yelly, by the way, 6 tackles. A couple of TFLs and a sack in this one. He is sidelined, at least for this play. 1st and goal, UAB.
They've got D-line depth, does Tulsa, so I expect them to.
Jackson waltzes in for a touchdown. And UAB takes a 30-24 lead. That was a 10-play, 90-yard scoring drive. And Tulsa will have to counter with just 3:40 left.
And where did they go? They went to the right side behind John Darius Morgan and Barry Walker, who we just talked about. Working that right side, their best offensive lineman in John Darius Morgan, he leads the way into the end zone.
Point after is perfect, and it's 31-24. A 3-yard score from Javon Jackson. He's over 100 yards rushing on the day. Here's how it happened.
And it started right with Kitna finding a way to make that play right there to Iverson Hooks. And then the run game got going. This offensive line, I thought, did a nice job on that drive, stemming the tide. They gave up a couple of plays, but for the most part, they were able to create creases and build nice pockets for Jalen Kitna to step up into. Then you get a slip by the defender in the secondary, and you get a big play, and then you got to finish the drive in the red zone.
UAB looking for their first road win since 2022. That was a 10-play, 90-yard drive, 5-13. Their 4th scoring drive of 90-plus yards on the season, capped by a Jackson 3-yard rushing touchdown.
And that's one of multiple long drives, 5+ minute drives in this game today. They've really done a nice job helping their defense out playing complementary football.
Pooch kick ensuing. Lucas runs up underneath it, and this will be fantastic field position for the Golden Hurricane. Last time UAB won on the road, 1,099 days against Louisiana Tech. That was the 22 season.
And look, I can't say enough about everything this football team has gone through. of what Alex Mortensen and his staff have done to get this football team ready to play this game this way on the road. It's cold outside. I mean, it's cold down there on the field. You got the wind to deal with, and they have found a way to give themselves a chance to win this ball game with 3:36 to go.
Allen, stutter step, plowing left, pushing the pile to pick up 6 yards. Into plus territory to the 49.
And now here comes that patented Trey Lamb Tulsa tempo offense.
Second down.
Back to Allen. Allen planted. Lost 2 on the carry. Downstairs to Smacker. It's going down to the wire.
Hey guys, it is really cold down here, but there are lots of dance moves around the heaters and a lot of enthusiasm on both sidelines.
Love the energy, love the effort. 3rd and 7. Jet sweep, step toe looking for the edge. Popped out of bounds. He has the first down. Needed 7, he got 8.
I was getting ready to compliment A.J. Brown for doing a nice job on the edge there, and somehow they're able to turn. Watch Brown at the bottom of the screen to the right there. I thought he was going to keep Steptoe from turning that corner, and Steptoe was able to get around that corner. Nice block out there on the outside, and they get the first down.
Down to 2:37 to go. Hayes, shoulder roll. Way too out in front of Josh Smith. It's incomplete.
Yeah, Josh Smith trying to get free. A little bit, looked like maybe some type of maybe post and go or slant and go type of route there. The defense undeterred there. They stay on top of it on the back end. And now this is a defensive front. They got hands on hips, but can they make a couple of more plays here with 2:31 to go?
They'll run it with Presley. Presley down to the 36. Jeremiah Vessel makes the tackle. It's 2nd down. Make it 3rd down, I should say, in a long 3.
How about Braylon Presley? Pressed into action today and has found a way to make some plays and be a positive spark for his offense.
On 3rd down, Presley, what a move! And Tulsa's just outside the red zone, down to the 22.
Chris Burge, I'm gonna send flowers for your ankles in honor of Braylon Presley. He made you miss, and all of a sudden Tulsa rolling with a chance to tie it up. 1:54 to go. Well, we're at the 2-minute timeout.
2 minutes to play, UAB by a touchdown. Well, no shirts, full service, unless, of course, you're this guy in the coat.
I'm going to go with suit on and layer underneath. How about that?
2 minutes to play. Hayes keeps it on the read, and he's bottled up.
Zach Johnson.
Losing to Johnson again. What a day he's had.
How about Zach Johnson and Chris Burge as well in there to help on that play? This is well done. Johnson stays downhill and makes that play.
Tulsa with tempo. Hayes buying time, back shoulder, one hops it, incomplete. It's 3rd and 12.
And once again, Burge was in his face as Baylor Hayes tried to work his way to the sideline. Burge was there once again to make it difficult for him.
A minute 36 to play, 7-point lead, UAB. Tulsa hasn't won 3 in a row since 2021. A win would give them that. UAB hasn't won a road game since 2022. Something has to give. Hayes dropping underneath, complete at the 21. Lucas is ridden out of bounds, and it's 4th down and a long 10 to gain. Bryant with blanket coverage.
And he got him inbound, so the clock continues to run. So this is a 4th down, and if I'm Trey Lamb, I might take a timeout here to make sure I get the absolute right call.
Just over a minute to play.
Trey Lamb's a lot smarter than I am as a play caller, so he doesn't need a timeout.
This is it. Hayes on 4th down, floats it deep, knocked away, and UAB will take over with 54 seconds to go and a 7-point lead.
Turnover on downs. 1st down, UAB.
Delvin Goalie on the coverage.
Yeah, they got aggressive. They attacked vertically. Listen, this is one thing about Trey Lamb that I love. He's aggressive. They had an opportunity to complete it there. Just a nice defensive play that time. How about this defense and what Steve Russ has been able to do? Listen, they haven't stopped everything in this game, but they've made enough plays to keep their team in it. And right now they need their offense to clean up this clock and close this one out. Now, Tulsa's got 3 timeouts.
Yep.
They'll use them after each play. If UAB gets a timeout here, likely this one's over. But if they don't, again, they'd be punting.
Game clock operator, please reset to 56 seconds.
And they had 2 seconds.
6.
So
Thank
again,
you.
if you 3 runs here probably eats up about 12 to 15 seconds. Then all of a sudden you're punting into the win, UAB. So it'll be tough. Could be pretty good field position for Tulsa if they can get a stop.
Jackson has a 1st down. Out to the 35. 49 seconds left.
Timeout. Tulsa. They're first. 30 seconds.
14-yard gain from Jackson, who's up to 117 yards.
Yeah, just working off this right side. John Darius Morgan gets out in front as the puller from that right guard spot. Gets a piece of 2 guys. He gets a piece of Williams and Lento Smith Jr. to spring that run out to the right side, and they pick up the 1st down.
Tulsa has 2 timeouts left.
Getting a big spot, you got to go to your best. And who's it been? Jackson and John Darius Morgan in the offensive line.
229 yards rushing for UAB today. They had 273 in their opener against Alabama State, but this is a season high against FBS foes. Kitna hands it off, and Jacobs rumbles to the 40. Tulsa will call another timeout with 42 seconds to go.
Tulsa, their second. 30 seconds.
It's 2nd down. Lento Smith and Ty Newhouse combine on the tackle. What a story of resilience and redemption for UAB, looking for their first road win Since the 2022 season, they won at Louisiana Tech. It's been over 1,000 days since they had the taste of victory outside of Birmingham.
And I think they would snap it here. They could take a kneel down here. You'd get one more timeout, and then you could kneel it down again.
They should be able to run out the clock.
No, the issue is here. This is second down. So Tulsa would call a timeout after third down. No, they'd call it after second down here.
On third down, they should be able to run out the clock.
On third down, they can kneel it. Yeah,
Yep.
That's right. You got the math. I was told there would be no math.
I'm all math all day.
I'm glad you are, because I'm not.
If math is wrong,
Yeah, and
I
here
don't
they go
want to be
kneel.
right. There's the kneel down from Kitna. Sets up third down.
Third and final timeout, Tulsa.
38 seconds left.
Yeah, that one first down on that first play is what did them in, because just at that point the math was just not on their side. And if Tulsa can get a clean snap and a kneel down, or I should say if UAB can get a clean snap and a kneel down here, they're going to walk out of here with, as you just mentioned, their first road win in almost 1,100 days.
There was a stabbing incident involving 3 members of the UAB team exactly 1 week ago before their game against South Florida. They played the game. They had a bunch of players opt out this week. And here they are with this group who made the trip, about to snap a 1,000-plus day losing streak on the road. Kitna. That's going to do it.
What a performance by Alex Mortensen and his bunch in this ballgame.
They come on the road, and UAB takes down Tulsa 31-24, and the streak is over. 1,099 days since UAB won a game on the road. It was November 26th, 2022 at Louisiana Tech. They spoil Tulsa's senior day. With an interim head coach, Alex Mortensen, over 30 players opting out, not making the trip. Somehow, some way, with heart and effort, they find a way to win on the road.
Yeah, not only do they find a way, they're able to have an inspired performance defensively. I think that was the biggest thing for me, is what this defense was able to do, the way they were able to consistently get home in the running game, get penetration from that defensive front. Those were the key guys in this game.
And Smackers with interim head coach Alex Mortensen.
Coach, you go on the road and get a win late in the year. What can you say about how this team came together in the face of adversity?
Well, it's really incredible how they came together. We've been through a lot, not just over the last 6 weeks, but particularly in the last 7 days. And the guys that came on this trip really showed great resiliency. They stayed together, fought hard. So I'm just really pleased with them and really, really happy for them to go and get a win on the road.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Remarkable. UAB wins it 31-24. For Reggie Walker and Smacker Miles, I'm James Westling saying so long from Tulsa. UAB 31, Tulsa 24. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.